I don't know what just happened, folks, but he just fell out.
Death. Friday the 13th. Unlucky day. Knights Templar massacred for their beliefs in 1307 AD, charged with heresy. Their crime was only to free people's minds. See, we in this society are internally dead. We are raised like sheep, blind to the manipulation being done right in front of our eyes. Why? Why do we work these 9 to 5s when we are mere objects in our managers' eyes, slaves for their enterprise, yet we have nothing to show for it, except maybe stress, debt, and spiritual death? We are like addicts, addicted to retail, Facebook, Twitter, TV, money, greed, and any other vice that you can think of. We stand in Independence Hall, which is a monument symbolic of freedom and equality. Yet ironically, we are in a state of dependence. This country's wealth was built on control and servitude. Africans were brought here as slaves to feed the machine of America. Poor whites worked as indentured servants. Race is a tool just like gender and class, which is used by those in power to keep the majority of people pitted against each other. As long as we fight against ourselves, the power elite are free to increase their wealth exponentially. We still fight amongst each other because it's easier to hate what we don't understand than it is to gain understanding and love for our fellow man. Education keeps us conditioned to blindly accept and memorize what we see and read. If we challenge the education, then we don't get our A's and B's. We get put in special ed, or we get black marks on record because we are labeled troublemakers. Therefore, our punishment for challenging the educational system is that we won't be able to function within the system. So we eat what they feed us because we fear the consequences. Fear. We fear many things. Our media perpetuates it. Our officers and judicial system enforce it. We fear change because we fear the repercussions associated with that change. And this is exactly how those in power want you to feel. Work keeps us tired. Our addictions keep us apathetic and satisfied. The education keeps us conditioned. We fight each other over petty differences. And fear keeps us from making any changes. This is the formula that those in the power elite, the old world order, use to keep their power and wealth intact as well as growing. This is not an attack on the U.S. government, on Republicans, Democrats, none of that. We just want people to open up their eyes and realize that something can be done. The system only exists because we believe in it. But what if we started believing in something else? Imagine a society of freedom, necessities provided to all, markets based on cost with no greed and corruption, technology used for the advancement of the people and not corporate greed, where spirituality breeds enlightenment, not repression, where leaders are elected based on merit, talent, leadership abilities, and skills opposed to money, power, and influence. A society where art and expression take precedence over money, land, and power, where real life is more exciting than a video game or reality TV show where we live vicariously through others, where education is a breeding ground for new ideas, new philosophies, and enlightenment, where governments set laws that fall in line with our conscience and our logic instead of oppression and greed, where crowdsourcing the people is used to develop new ideas and projects, where everyone has the ability to choose or not to choose to be involved in the government. We are promoting a new government of meritocracy, where even one of the quote-unquote founding fathers of this country, Thomas Jefferson, actually believed this to be the highest form of government. So, it's time we stand up to the old world order, the roughly 6,000 old men that, through secret societies like Masons, Skull and Bones, Bilderberg Group, are the ones that are pulling the strings in economies, government, and amongst people throughout the world. If we break that down, that equates to one man having control over every million people, and that is just too much power for such a small group to have. Let's take back the money and resources that they attain through greed and manipulation and use it selflessly to build a new world society where people across the globe can work together in harmony and with each other and with nature. If we start living selflessly instead of selfishly today, then we can become closer to God and enlightenment than we ever could have imagined. Thank you.
M for the movement. M for the movement. M for the movement. Tag it and keep moving. M for the movement. M for the movement. M for the movement. Tag it and keep moving. M for the movement. M for the movement. M for the movement. Tag it and keep moving. M for the movement. M for the movement. Independence Hall. M is the future. Hyper-reality. The new form of art and expression. Friday the 13th, 2010. Independence Hall. Let me explain what this really is. Motivated geniuses. We ain't just silly kids. Focus on the pyramids. Focus where the mirror is. Testing hocus pocus with scientific experiments. Gnosis like the Merovingians. With a twinge of the twins case it gets militant. This matrix that we living in engineered by multi-generational businesses. Staff in my right hand, disc in my left hand. No, I'm not a yes man. Fortune makes it expand. Dissatisfaction with a plan and collective intelligence equals liberation. Exercise patience while the clock's racing. I refer to God on a first name basis. To walk in the light, you gotta tighten up your laces, then kick your shoes off and moonwalk with the sages. Hyper-reality, the new form of art. M for the movement. Tag it and keep moving. Prognosis Entertainment. www.theprognosis.net. The soundtrack of the revolution. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll have you take one of those.
The minds are ready. Are you?